When we think about how beer is made, we hardly ever think about the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making the perfect brew. Luckily for us, those aren't the actual ingredients that go into making beer, but it is definitely a difficult process. The beer making process actually consists of 4 different ingredients, and by tweaking just a couple of them, we can yield about 2 different major types of beer. So we're gonna start off with the components of beer. Beer is basically made up of water, hops, barley, and yeast. And we're gonna start with water. Water makes up 90% of beer, and it is what we use to dilute, filter, and boil the beer. Next, we have hops. Hops are actually what give beer its bitterness, aroma, and flavor, and it can be added at multiple times throughout the brewing process to make it more bitter or give it specific flavors like citrusy flavors. It's also used for its antibacterial effects, so it actually helps preserve the beer for a lot longer. Next, we have barley. Barley is malted for its sugars, and the sugars are going to be used to give the beer its sweetness, and it's also going to be used to feed the yeast, which is used in the fermenting process, which we'll talk about later. And it also helps balance out the hoppiness and bitterness of the hops. Next, we have yeast. So yeast, to me, is going to be the most important part of the brewing process, because this is the part where we get alcohol. So yeast basically eats the sugar and it creates alcohol, which gives beer its alcohol content, and it also creates carbon dioxide, which carbonates the beer and gives it its gassy and its bubbles. So basically, by changing the type of yeast, we're gonna get 2 different types of beers. We're gonna start off with the ale. The ale usually is a robust, hearty, and fruity beer, and it usually gets this flavor because of the top fermenting yeast that is used to make this beer. And it is called top fermenting yeast because the yeast tends to float to the top during the end of the fermenting process. And this yeast requires warmer temperatures, so usually this beer is brewed at about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it usually only takes about 2 weeks to brew this beer. And we usually get reddish to brownish colors, and sometimes we even get lighter colored ales. So here we have the India Pale Ale. This is gonna be a very hoppy beer, meaning it's gonna be very bitter. Here we have the Lagunitas IPA, which is a type of India Pale Ale. And then we have the Fruit Lambic. This is also an ale, and you can't see it now, but it's actually kind of like a wine colored. And the reason for this color is because it uses raspberries during the fermenting process. So it's gonna look a little bit like wine and champagne, and it's a little fruity as well. So next we have the lagers. So unlike the ales, the lagers actually use a bottom fermenting yeast. And this is gonna give it a smooth, elegant, crisp, and clean taste. This yeast requires cooler temperatures as opposed to the ale, which requires warmer temperatures. So this beer is actually gonna be brewed at 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and this actually takes about 6 weeks to ferment. And the lagers are usually light in color, but they can also be very dark as well. We have 2 different types of beers for that. We have the European Pale Lager, which we have the Stella Artois, which is a Belgian style beer. And then we also have the Doppelbock. And this type of beer actually started being made in the 1500s by Franciscan monks to help them get through the through the 2 holy fasts of Lent and Advent. This here we have the Maximator, which, as you can see, it's actually darker in color than the lager, so you can see the difference in the types of color that the lager can create. So I hope now you know a little bit about the brewing process and the many varieties that it can create, and you can thank your local brewers for making delicious beer that you can drink and get you drunk.